We'll continue this series of videos with the high-resolution 3D seabed charts from Seafield Navigation for the TurboWin plotting software family. The charts are not suitable for navigation, and in this video we will look at the 3D seabed coverage for the East Anglia folio here, stretching from Kent up to just north of Yarmouth, and then the Spurn area, which stretches from just north of Yarmouth up to Flamborough Head. So we'll zoom in to get a better look at the areas, geographic coverage. And we'll switch off the coloured areas so we can zoom into the 3D seabed data. So if we zoom in, the data will start to jump out of this. Start off at the north side of Kent here. We've got wind farm arrays here. Zoom out and take a look at those. I think we've got a few in here. Kentish Flats, I think that's Thanet, London. There are lots of them. So as we take a zoom in, we'll just take a look at some channels here. We're 8 meters of water approximately. Again, we're measuring this video in meters. I think I'll just switch to fathoms. Everything's referenced in fathoms now. Yep, no, it's feet, sorry. Fathoms, there we are. So we're in 7 fathoms of water. Take a look along the northern edge of Kent here. Very shallow water, 2 fathoms. And again, we'll just keep on zooming in. We're at 400 meters to the screen. Lost a little bit of resolution there, 600 meters to the screen. And we'll go to 3D image so we can see the banks running parallel to the Kent coast. Very shallow water, 2-3 fathoms of water. Looking further out into 8 fathoms of water, 10 fathoms. And again back into 6 fathoms, it just rolls up the coast. We'll go further out towards the 12-mile limit. Take a look against that. Again, shallow sandbars here at 14 fathoms, deepening down to 25 fathoms next to it. And we can see on the 3D image over to the west of it here, these scallop crescent features on the seabed. Many more to the east of this sandbar here. we're heading out towards the UK Netherlands divide. UK, France, Belgium, Netherlands. We don't have data for Belgium at the present time. That will be added very soon. When it does, we'll add a video for it. So again, we'll come back inside the UK coverage, and we can see a feature here on the seabed with a channel running away to the east of it. The contours are 1 meter spaced on the 3D image and also in the 2D image. The closer they are together on the 2D image, the steeper the sides of the bank. I'll switch on a set of data which comes from the Kingfisher Seafish stables of data. They release this chart every 6 months. We can see here these are the power cables from the Greater Gabbard array. Now, a lot of people think you're not allowed to fish in here. You are. You have a 50-meter safety limit around every tower, clearly marked on these charts. And while it might be difficult to trawl in here, certainly fishing with static gear would not present too much of a problem. So we'll keep on going a little bit north of the Gabbard. On the 3D charts you can see the seabed cables running away from the wind farms. I think they've got mattresses here, rock dump mattresses. Yeah. Again, if you do snag any of these cables, you have the phone number to call on this data set on the top blue band there on the navigation screen. Equally, we zoom into this cable here. This looks like a telecoms cable. Farland North cable it's called, running all the way to Netherlands or Belgium. Not quite sure where the border is there. So whether that is power or telecoms, you can see it very clearly on the navigation chart. You can see where it passes over this ridge. And down at the channel. Carrying on towards the UK. We just take a look at this 3D chart again. We'll move it further south. There's a feature to the south of this. It looks interesting here. Zoom out a little bit. So again, a piece of harder seabed, 13 fathoms. Scour in the north and south are 18, 19 fathoms. We'll keep on rolling out towards the Dutch boundary, Netherlands boundary, outside this wind farm here. This is the East Anglia 1 wind farm. And again, we can see on the 3D chart where all the pylons are located, along with the interconnecting cables, and how they all interact with the seabed features that you can see. In this image here on the left, you can see the cable crossing the sand wave. We'll keep on moving up the coast. So you can see the banks, the blue areas on the left, on the right hand image are the interpretation from the navigation chart. The contours are derived from the Seafield charts that we've produced here. So we can see these features. The banks are not made up of single banks, they're made up of compounded sand waves, about 4 meters high, in very short succession. But once we go across the UK, outside the UK waters, we don't have such good resolution, to the point where we go towards Holland, we'll see we don't have too much resolution there at all. So we switch on a fresh database, which is the Eastern North Sea. Let's see what we have there. So again, this is taking a look outside the UK coverage, the Netherlands coverage, and we've lost any good resolution there. So here we've got the red and green 6 and 12 mile limits. More wind farms here off Norfolk. So here we have the Sheringham Shoal wind farm. Further out from that, we have the Dudgeon. And if we go towards the coast, we've got a lot of wind farms here. Let's just zoom into these traditional fishing areas. very wide flat seabed, 10 fathoms, 12 fathoms. But as always, you're looking for interesting features in the seabed. Very deep one here. We're looking at 45 fathoms deep, dropping from 12 fathoms to the east and west. And as we keep on going up the coast, we're coming off. We've gone north of Spurn Point now. We'll take a look in this bay here, inside the 12-mile limit, just inside. And we can see lots of features. And this looks like a wreck here. Yep. Sitting in 23 fathoms of water, the wreck shallows up to about 18 fathoms. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 meters high, the wreck. So we'll think that area here, I'm not sure, I think this is called the Silver Pits, this area. Again, the blue area here on the right hand image is the data from the navigation chart. I'll just switch on the data from the navigation chart here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 soundings in this area. It's about 1.5 miles by 1.5 miles on the screen. 1 to 10,000 scale. And we have a channel here at 30 fathoms in this U-shaped style. Let's see what the charts say on the 3D. So we're getting something a little bit different here. A shoal here in this area, and the U-shaped feature here is a U-shaped feature, but there are many, many more surrounding it. Area of seabed called the Hills, and you can see why it's called the Hills. We'll move into the northwest, into deeper water, 33 fathoms. Again, we can see these steep-sided channels here. The banks are not made up of single banks, they are made up of, let's go take a look here. Compounded sand waves, very complex structures. And again, if you're working static gear, you can use these to your advantage, these seabed features, and if you're trawling, you can also use them to your advantage. We will just switch on the tidal flow streams. So at the present time we've got 0.2 of a knot running north-south. But in an hour that'll change to, in 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Tides are quite light just now. Half a knot. Changing to 1.2 knots later on. Running from the south to north. So you can see these features rolling across the seabed. We'll go up to Flamborough Head here. Look at the seabed coming out from this headland. Coming into the shore. And the shallows are into 15 fathoms of water. And we start to see these harder ridges. As you get closer to the shore, it'll become more mixed in with the rock. And even in Bridlington Bay here, have a look at the features here. There. So in the 3D image you can see these banks running out from Bridlington Bay. They go way beyond what's described in the navigation chart. And further out you've got more, not as high, maybe 2 or 3 meters high, but again, and you can see it running away into the east. If I put the colour wash onto the 2D screen, we can see the unmarked bank here running into the east. Coming around here. So at Flamborough Head now, we'll take a look further out, outside the 12-mile limit. Again, into sand wave type seabed features. So you can have the navigation screen as simple or as complex as you wish. Your own data will appear on here, shining through. We take a look at a wind farm as an example. So in the 3D image we can see the cables, the wind farm towers, the 50-meter restriction around each tower for fishing, the limit of the wind farm itself on the seabed, turn off the 2D surface there, so we've got a standard navigation chart to look at. And we'll go out, take a look out towards the international divide, which divides us from Netherlands waters. Typical of where we run off the edge of the high resolution coverage. If we can't show you data, we'll show you nothing. I'd rather show you nothing than tell you a lie. So that takes care of the areas for the folios covering the East Anglia and Spurn. The next areas we'll look at will be from Flamborough Head up to the River Tweed, and from the River Tweed north to Aberdeen. The list of outlets where the software and charts can be sourced will be following in a moment.